What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jay, aka Straight Drop Jay, and you're now watching Reason Gang TV. Today we go over the Monotone Bass Synthesizer by Reason Studios. It was developed by Reason Studios, and it's a pretty cool device. Okay, it's monophonic, meaning you can only play one note at one time, and the reason for that is if you on the low sub end, if you layer chords or different keys at the same time, it crowds your mix really quick and it doesn't sound that good. Some circumstances it sounds good, but for the most part it crowds your mix too much, and that's the reason why bass sounds good on a monophonic vibe. Okay, so have you ever pressed the 808 sub and then pressed it again and it layered the first one and it sounded crazy, and then you decided, damn, I need to put this on mono retrig? Yeah, that's why, because it doesn't sound good when it layers. So that's the reasoning behind having a monophonic bass synthesizer. Now, there's another type of monophonic play mode, and it's called legato. Legato sort of stretches the first key to the second key. It still does not play two keys at one time, but it lets it morph and slide to the next one. It's cool and it sounds good. This monophonic synthesizer, Monotone, has a lot of cool parameters, different basic synth waveforms to begin, detuning, octave, up and down. It has filters. Well, it has a filter and it's linked to an LFO and an envelope. It also has chorus and delay, and it's a very useful device. I can get some pretty cool sounds out of it real quick, and let's go through it. I'm going to show you all the parameters. Let's go. Okay guys, I have loaded up the Monotone Bass Synthesizer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this loop and I'm going to show you all the parameters on the device. So we'll start here. We'll start by giving it a little bit of release on the ADSR. Little sustain. Okay, portamento is on already, so let's turn up the amount. Nice, it's stretching a little bit. We could retrig on and off. That's the play mode. If we take it off, it'll go to legato. This is legato. This is retrig. Basically, it retriggers the key. Legato just takes the key and it stretches it. It sort of keeps the key going. It just changes the note as you change keys. Okay, so we see the play mode. It sounds pretty cool. Now, the first thing you're gonna notice after you get your voicing correct, you look at, all right, this is a saw waveform. This looks like a square right here. Let's see how it sounds as a square. This is a triangle after, and then finally the sine, which is how we can make an 808 sub, but that's later. I like square for now. Alright, a cool thing is you have two oscillators and you can engage the second oscillator by simply mixing from oscillator 1 to oscillator 2. This one comes stock on the sine, and you could dial in the mix. Now, the octave control is pretty cool because you could take one up and leave one down, and it gives you a more dynamic sound, sort of like an octave layer. This is very cool. You could add noise and you can add detune. You can add detune. That's sort of like a fine tune knob. All right, another cool thing I see right here is LFO. This links directly to the pitch, and this is your LFO. It's linking it to the pitch to give it a sort of like a ghostly sound. And your LFO has 3 different shapes: sine, triangle, square. Your rate is not tempo synced, but the level is right here. Okay, now you also have FM envelope, frequency modulation envelope, which corresponds here to these parameters. It actually sounds really cool. You have a dedicated filter, which also has envelope and LFO routing already auto mapped with drive, which is a bonus. I like that. And resonance. Low pass filter. Now we could route this to the envelope. Or we could route it to the LFO. Key tracking. That links the keyboard MIDI input to where on the filter cutoff. So lower in the key it'll have more of a cutoff on the MIDI trigger. You have your dedicated ADSR here, attack, decay, sustain, release. You have your velocity, and then as a bonus you have chorus and delay. Nice stereo effects. Spread and delay. Ping pong, time, feedback. Very cool effects. Your master output. And you of course have your pitch knob range. So 12 meaning a whole octave, you could stretch it. And the modulation wheel has filter and LFO amount routings. So opens the filter frequency. And this corresponds to the filter rate. Very cool parameters. This monotone is a very useful device in my opinion. On the back you have CV gate input, pitch bend modulation control. Modulation input could go directly to oscillator mix. So say you wanted an external LFO to control the oscillator mix, or FM envelope, noise level, frequency, filter res. It's a pretty nice little feature for them to add all these inputs on the back. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this mini tutorial. The Monotone Bass Synthesizer is a nice little device. I definitely will make some dope sounds with it and probably drop a refill soon. Appreciate you guys. Until next time.